Hey Fallout, what resilience should I run? Welcome to one of the most frequent questions in my Twitch chat on any given Trials weekend. The other one, of course, being, hey, aren't you that shotgun guy? Let's try to actually give people an answer to that question. If you were to roll into PvP on any given day, is there an ideal, perfect resilience number you can have on your Guardian that'll make you feel maybe not invincible, but not a totally vulnerable schlub? Well, we're gonna find out with the power of math and shooting our friends in the face. But before we get going, I wanna give a shout out to the sponsor of today's video, Ridge Wallets. These things are beautiful, and I'm glad to promote them on my channel because I've actually been using one myself for about the past year. No joke, this right here has been my actual wallet. A lot of guys I know are still lugging around wallets like this. Big, bulky, floppy, and uncomfortable, doesn't sit well in your pocket, and you gotta move it around when you sit down. As I mentioned, over a year of the Ridge wallet, and I'm just never going back. It's light, sleek, and efficient. It doesn't fold or bulge out awkwardly in your pocket. It's got room for all my cards and a clip for bills when I am carrying cash. They've got over 30 colors and styles on their website, including carbon fiber and burnt titanium. Sounds like a Destiny shader. They've got 30,000 5-star reviews, one of them being mine, and each wallet comes with a lifetime warranty. Yes, you can buy just one wallet and boom, carry and use it for life. The Ridge is so confident you'll like it that they'll let you test drive it for 45 days, and if you don't, you can send it back for a full refund. Get 10% off today with free worldwide shipping and returns by going to ridge.com/falloutplays and use promo code falloutplays. Link to their site in the video description, and thank you again to Ridge for sponsoring today's video. Alright, back to the content. We need to make one thing clear right out of the gate. Are there going to be times where your resilience number flat out won't matter in PvP? Of course, happens all the time. Perfect example, you walk around the corner and you come face to face with a guy hardscoping the lane with an aggressive frame sniper and he brains ya. Doesn't matter if your resil is a 1, doesn't matter if your resil is a 10. You are getting one shot in that situation. However, there will be situations here and there where it will matter. Repeat that same scenario, except change the following. You're running around the corner while reloading your gun. There's an enemy right there with a 120 RPM hand cannon, and he starts shooting you. He gets the first shot on you because, again, you were reloading like a pleb. Your game plan is now to immediately piece the F out of that lane before getting picked off to rejoin your friends and regroup. Is there an exact resilience number that will help you live there? Yup, you better believe it. But before we get into numbers, the takeaway I'm driving at is this: the golden rule of resilience. The resilience you should be running directly depends on what weapons the enemies are using. We're about to go down a weird little rabbit hole about what resil number can help you live a little bit longer against a Guardian wielding insert weapon here. That's the whole goal here. If you enter PvP and you're making your enemy's job of killing you even a little bit harder, either by forcing them to be more accurate and actually aim for your head, or by making them squeeze the trigger one extra time to put you in the ground, you're giving yourself a slightly better chance at winning the 1v1, which is what we want. And with that, let's dive in. One of the most popular weapon archetypes in the current PvP meta is the 120 RPM hand cannon. The default damage on those hand cannons is about 90 damage for a headshot and 50 damage for a body shot. I say about because keep in mind that in D2, damage number rounding is always a thing. To avoid getting demolished by just one headshot and 2 body shots, which believe me, your enemies would love to do to you, you'd really want to be at a minimum of 5 resil or higher. 4 or under will die from 1 head to body, and considering how popular 120 RPMs are in trials right now, yeah, running 4 resil or lower is going to make your enemy's job of killing you much easier. So by the way, right here at this moment, you can take my straightforward, bare bones answer and just X out of the video right now. Dead ass. Don't go into PvP in the current meta unless you're running at least 5 resil. We got a hard answer out of them, boys. Yup, that is my real answer for now because of how common and dominant 120 RPMs are in the current meta. Look at this picture, man. 120 RPMs make up the top 3 primary weapons in trials almost every weekend. So yeah, 5 resil, blanket, safe answer. But if you want to stick around, I've got more resil data you might find interesting. And by interesting, You can take some of the knowledge and use it to your advantage to punish people. Example, if you're flying into trials and notice, hey, that guy on the other team is running low resilience. Well, that means you can now punish him with X weapon. If that sounds appealing to you, come take a walk with me. Some 120 RPM hand cannons can roll with either Rampage or Swashbuckler, which of course changes the damage output. At level 1 of Swash, 120 RPM hand cannons do 96 damage to the head, with 2 headshots that'll 2-tap any Guardian at 5 Resil or below, meaning that if you happen to notice the entire enemy fire team in Trials is taking my blanket advice and running all 5 Resilience, if you have one, it's Swashbuckler time. Rampage is much easier to abuse, but I think most people know that. With Rampage on a 120 RPM, the damage goes up from 90 to 99 on a headshot, meaning you'll be able to 2-tap any Guardian in PvP running 8 Resil or lower. Is someone in your lobby running wild with the Rampage True Prophecy 2-tapping everybody? You could try cranking up your resilience to 9, or you could just win your ones forehead. If you're a fan of Thorn, and I definitely still am, you want to be on the lookout for any Trials fire team running 5 Resil or below. With 6 Resil, you'll be able to tank the classic 2 headshot, 1 body shot walk away combo. 5 or lower will die to the burn damage guaranteed. Let's say someone on the other team's got really beefy Resil, like 9. Well, a Dire Promise hand cannon with Swashbuckler can possibly help you out. If you manage to get Swash level 1 active, Dire Promise can 2 headshot, 1 body shot any Guardian running 9 Resil and below. You need 10, the absolute max, to tank that. Speaking of 10 Resil, let's say that someone on the enemy team is rocking the linear fusion rifle that shall not be named, and they are tearing everyone apart with it, even people in their roaming super. Did you know that the Behemoth Titan running a full 10 Resil can tank a headshot from that gun while in their Glacial Quake? Just a fun little fact. How about a little 180 RPM hand cannon info? What if you match up against Drewski on your flawless game in Trials? You know he's gonna be rocking the old posterity. Now normally you've got 58 damage in the head and 39 in the body. Your goal here is to make sure your Resil isn't low enough to get you 2 and 2'd in PvP. That would be 2 shots to the head and 2 shots to the body. If you manage to hit 6 Resil, you will prevent that from happening. If you're in Trials and you find a team of squishy, doughy little fellas rocking 1 Resil, well, it's time to break out a posterity or any 180 RPM hand cannon with Rampage. If you get Rampage level 1 to activate, anyone at Resil level 1 is getting flat out 3-tapped by posterity. Let's really quickly talk about Whisper of Hedrons, aka Kill Clip on Demand. If you're playing one of the totally not overpowered stasis subclasses in PvP, the Whisper of Hedrons can allow you to activate a big damage buff just by freezing an enemy. You don't even have to kill that enemy, just freeze anybody with Hedrons and boom, 25% damage buff for 10 seconds. Now in theory, if you had that kind of damage output going for you, it's going to take a lot for the enemy to stand up to you, no matter what kind of Resil they have on. But again, if you notice your enemy is running particularly low resilience and you have Hedrons available, you can begin the punishment. Stars and Shadow, the criminally underrated PvP pulse rifle that absolutely wrecks house in the right hands. If you get Hedrons going, 1 full burst to the head and 1 full burst to the body, everybody dies. But even if you mess up and 1 bullet goes from that original headshot burst down into the body, so 2 bullets in the head, 1 bullet in the body, followed by a full body shot burst, anyone under 9 Resil will die. Crimson with Hedrons activated can 2-tap anyone running under 6 Resil. If you've got an aggressive frame sniper with Hedrons activated, you can get a 1-hit kill body shot on anyone under 9 Resil. Go ahead and keep that in mind if you run into anybody trying to abuse both Hedrons and the Borealis. Roll the clip. Did you know that Hedrons can stack with Memento Mori, the Ace of Spades hand cannon exotic perk? If you check the enemy fire team and anyone is running 1 or 2 Resil, punish them with 1 headshot and 1 body shot. If you're a fan of rockin' bows in PvP, I probably don't have to tell you, but A, Hedrons is your best friend, and B, you can punish a lot of resilience levels with almost any bow. If you're using a precision frame bow like the Biting Winds, anything under 4 resil will get flat out one-shot in the head with a Hedron's arrow. The Wishender bow with a perfect draw and a Hedron's damage buff will flat out one-shot anyone under 6 resil. Not too shabby, right? Any hunters out there, feel free to pair Hedrons together with the Oathkeepers if you really want to ruin somebody's day. Of course, you could always run Hedrons and Monarch together, which has the power to flat out one-shot anybody. Damn, this kinda turned into a how to abuse Hedrons video, but I'm strangely okay with it. Well, anyway, I hope that gave you a little bit of insight. Again, TLDR, the answer to what resil should I run in PvP is heavily dependent on what your enemies are shooting you with. If you want my safe blanket answer, you got it earlier, probably 5. But a couple situations we went over today were covered by 6 too. All depends on what they're using. Here is the best piece of advice I can give you. Just shoot them before they shoot you. Problem solved. Thank y'all very much for watching, and I will catch you next time.